Bitcoin is sitting on the edge of a breakout or a breakdown. The dollar continues to tank. Meme coins are waking up and the broader markets are trying to bounce. Volatility is back and the charts are screaming for a move. And today I'm going to walk you through everything that I'm seeing, including some altcoin setups that could possibly explode if Bitcoin makes the right move. So let's jump in.
Hey, what's up?
All right, so this is what it looks like. Okay, Bitcoin. I've added a couple of indicators here: RSI, OBV. Okay, which gives me some type of idea how strong the moves could possibly be, right? The VRVP, which is this, okay, and EMAs. Exponential moving averages of 50 and 20. Okay, this is the 50, this is 20, and it's dangerously close to doing a cross, right? A bearish cross, actually. The 200 going over the 50. Yeah, 200 is the yellow and the 50 is the blue. Okay, but if it kind of stays right here, then and kind of starts moving up, we do avoid that cross. All right, so keep that in mind. Let me just go over the notes really quick. Structural wise, it's still respecting the symmetrical triangle. We see this triangle right there. Right, and bouncing from support, classic coil behavior. Okay, this was the support where it bounced from, as you can see, and now we are playing with the top of the triangle and trying to get out of here, but we do see some resistance, right? We do see resistance overhead, with the strongest resistance being up here, guys, right here, 95,000, this line right here, right? 95,500. If we can break through that, and I don't think that'll happen this week, but it's possible. If we start making moves out of here, then really this line would be the hardest to go over. Okay, from here, this right here, there's not a whole lot of resistance that I can see. Okay, relatively weak resistance up until this point. Okay, this is the strongest point. If we can break past this and get bodies above it, then it's relatively easier, less resistance up here. Okay, so I mean, we could really, once we get past here, start moving relatively fast. Okay, volume has been low during chop, rising slightly on green candle, suggesting that a possible attempt at a breakout. So right here, it is trying to break out, but we'll see what happens on the short term. Watch for a break above the upper trend line, which is right here. Okay, this 84,000 right here, more or less where we're at. Okay, hold on, little buddy. And then fake outs possible with macro headwinds. We've seen fake outs here. I mean, this was a whole prolonged fake out. And then midterm, if it breaks up above this with volume, right? Next major resistance, 88.90, which is the psychological level, which is right around here, 88.90. Okay, and if rejected, yeah, then we could see maybe start coming back down here. If we get rejected here, then yeah, I could see us start kind of coming back down like we've been, just coming back down the line and maybe retesting it right here, 70, 75. But around at that time, right, it'll be a little higher. It'll be like around 76 every day. That goes up a little bit, right? In fact, on let's see, when is it? 77 right there. All right, so on the 3rd of May, this line is already at 77,000. Okay, let's see if we can break out of here. Let's see what other things tell us, like the liquidation heat map. Okay, cluster zones, as you can see, we already got this area right here on the 24-hour. Right, there is some below at 83,909. Cluster zones 85,000, 87,000 have heavy short liquidation targets. If bulls push up, we could cascade up. Yeah, so right here, if it starts pushing up, grabbing all this stuff, then we could cascade up, as mentioned. Below, 77,000 holds liquidation risks for longs. Sharp drop could cause violent unwinds. Okay, but that would have to be a pretty sharp drop considering where we are now. 84. Well, not necessarily. I mean, it would just have to come down here, but I don't know that we do that without some type of catalyst, some type of negative catalyst. All right, so that's what the liquidation heat map is telling us. And on the weekly, show you what the weekly looks like right here. Basically going sideways, same thing, right? What did I take my notes? Still holding macro trend line, which it is, right? But needs to close above 83,000 to stay bullish. Okay, right now we're at 84.3, so we have to have basically a green week. Okay, a green week. If it goes below 83, then this candle right now, this weekly candle that closes this Sunday that's coming up, would be red. Okay, so keep that in mind. So that's why we got to stay above 83. Momentum. The weekly MACD turning flat. This week's close is key to directional clarity. So this candle we'll be watching to see what it closes on. So far, ideally, guys, we'd want to see it above this line, right? Because if it goes below this line, it's a red candle, and to me, it would just mean, you know, we could drift back down here, right, to test the bottom part of this triangle, right? but it would still be essentially sideways chop, right? Essentially sideways chop. All right, so that's the analysis, the breakdown of the BTC. All right, let's quickly look at other parts of the market. All right, let's look at the DXY. The DXY just continues to drop. That's pretty good. What do I have? Yeah, pretty much. It could try to get above 100, right? It could try to get back up here, but so far nothing. We've lost this area. Next area of support would probably be around 97, right? Losing the 100 and start touching these lines down here, right? If we lose that, then next area of support would probably be 95. Okay, so let's see what happens there. Maybe it kind of hangs out here for a little while, right, at 100 before it drops back down. But we'll see. If it drops down fast, that's good. All of this is very bullish, by the way, for Bitcoin, right? That we're losing this area right here, right? Look, this line basically, right? Because it's been oscillating there. If we lose this, fantastic. That's good. That's good for Bitcoin. Let's see what this looks like on the daily. That's the DXY on the weekly. Daily also doesn't look good. All right, so that's positive. Dow Jones looking like maybe it wants to start moving, continue moving up, right? Consolidation, hopefully closer to this line than down here. The Nasdaq, same thing. S&P, same thing. All look pretty much alike. Refer to my notes here. On these broader markets, rebound attempt strong. So what we see here is a strong bounce after sharp sell-off, forming possible double bottoms. Okay, short-term volatility remains high. If momentum holds, could be a risk on confirmation. Meaning, if this up move continues for all of these, then that's obviously very good for Bitcoin. Okay, although the Bitcoin correlation remains decoupled, but it's still tracking strength loosely. Okay, it's not completely decoupled, guys. And plus, again, correlations come and go. Okay, all right, run through that. Gold looking like, got no notes for gold, but gold looking like it could still move up, although it's having a red day. This doesn't look over. Okay, so obviously there's still a lot of uncertainty and people being scared. Right, moving over to others. Total crypto market cap excluding the top 10, still holding on to this line. All right, and basically chop could continue. Right, we could be hanging out around here for a little while up until Bitcoin decides a direction. Okay. So that's that. Let's take a look at Megos, Toshi, Keycat, Dogami, and we'll be out of here, guys. All right. So far it could end up being a pretty good week. Okay. Mr. Megos is holding support right here. Okay. We need it to continue this, right? That would be nice to just continue to see higher lows, just kind of grinding back up. Could be a little inverse head and shoulder pattern forming, right? Shoulder, head, right? Which would be bullish. But Mr. Megos, once it gets out of this area, we see a lot more clear skies. Okay, Toshi, same type of thing. Okay, so far right now it's rejecting off this area, a strong area of resistance, by the way. 3036, 3036, right? This line right here. But eventually, I think we do break through. Okay, what do I have notes here? Yeah, if this momentum continues, then our next target is probably going to be up here, 3076. Okay, Keycat. Big inverse head and shoulders. Okay, based on this, the RSI and OBV, it does look like it could continue to move up. Okay, next area of resistance for Keycat 0044. All of these base plays that I mentioned to you guys have moved up in the last couple of days. This was Saturday, Sunday. Okay, Toshi, same thing, as you can see, right? Sunday it wasn't that great, but Saturday it did move up and try to get up. Same thing with Mr. Megos over the weekend. These things moved up, right? Saturday too. Let's see if that can continue. Okay, Dog and Me moved up very strongly, as you can see. Broke through right here, showing a lot of strength, man. We break through this area 0013. We're going way higher, actually slightly below based on this. If we break past 3098. We break past 3098, there's a lot less resistance there, so I mean it could move relatively quick all through this area right here. And if that's the case, guys, this thing is going way higher. All right, and that's it. That's all I wanted to bring to your attention today, boys and girls. Let's hope this week comes in pretty bullish. We'll see. It's looking like it wants to, though. All right, so we'll leave it there. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'll continue to be watching everything, guys. Those base plays, I'm happy to see some green there, and Bitcoin, if it can hold where it is and kind of start moving up, then we got a shot. We got a shot getting into the 90s and back into the hundreds sooner than you might think, right? But it all depends on what the macro does too, right? Any type of major news events. But I'll be watching that, right? Any type of external shocks, I'll be watching that to see what's going on. You can always catch me on Twitter because I'm pretty active. And we'll leave it there. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I'm trying to grow this channel and all that stuff really does help. With all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace. Say goodbye, little Ant.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.